Nityanandam Paramasagatam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganashadasham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sargurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam. Hi, this is Manyati Oviananda. Today I'm going to talk about Sanyas. Yesterday, if you see my video called Sanyas versus Aadheenavasi, what's the difference? This is a sort of a continuation of that video. I came across a poem that I wanted to share with you. It is by Saint Tirumular from Tamil Nadu. He's a saint from many thousands of years ago. And this is a translation done, I believe, by the Himalayan Academy. They do a lot of beautiful translations, and we enjoy and appreciate the work that they're doing. So I want to share this with you. It is basically a part of their vows, actually, for sannyas, and it basically illustrates the path of the Hindu renunciate, relieving that person, he or she, from the worldly dharma so that he can know Shiva, Maha Sada Shiva, and get into that oneness space. Like I was saying yesterday, the path of sannyas can at times be very arduous, and it takes a lot of strength and will persistence, and also some part of you has to have that feeling connection. You have to have that feeling connection with Swamiji, because he's only guiding us and he only wants us to achieve enlightenment. He even said that once you're my disciple, I cannot rest in the cosmos until all of you are enlightened. And all the masters are that way. He says even Buddha is still sitting, many other masters are still sitting waiting, because they want all of their disciples. They've taken that responsibility for making them enlightened beings. So it's just an amazing thing. So I was very interested in this poem, so I'm going to read it to you. It's a verse. It's actually, I shouldn't say a poem, because it's a pramana. It's an actual sacred verse in that saint's scriptures that he revealed the secrets of what he discovered in that oneness space from Sadashiva. So here it goes. They know not the evil fruits karma bringeth. They choose not to find jnana for liberation from karma. Renounce karma and be liberated. This Vedic teaching they know not. They who wallow in karma will never the rich harvest reap. Renouncing all, I inwardly entered and beheld the light within. My heart trembled. I prostrated low, but him I never forgot, and the Lord of celestials, freeing me from the whirl of births, immortal, made me hear. Sunder thy desires, sunder thy desires, sunder thy desires even unto the Lord. The more the desires, the more the sorrows. The more thou givest up, the more thine bliss shall be. 1,000,000 times they are born and die. In 1,000,000 follies they forget this. In the darkness of mala they are enveloped. When at last the hidden grace of Shiva bursts forth and chases away the night, then comes the moment for the soul to renounce, and it then becomes a radiant light. And it's such a beautiful verse. Tirumantiram, verses 2,557, 2,615, 2,585, and 1,615. Those are the verses that's from. So for me, reading that is very emotional feeling. See, I also told once how I was seeing the wheel of life when I was in when I was in Nepal. And I was at visiting before I took the vows of Bhautika Brahmacharya from Swamiji. I took a trip there to Nepal. I just wanted to see Kathmandu, and I had to go for my visa and all that. So I went up to a monastery with my friend that I was traveling with, and we were sitting at this monastery up on some hill, and I saw that picture, and I expressed how it really hit home to me that wheel in the middle is Maya, or Kalabhairava, time, and how you go around that wheel from your birth and all the whole cycle of life, growing up, married, babies, all this, till you get old and bent, and then you end up going back into that same cycle again. And somehow when I read this poem, it just makes me feel a lot of gratitude that I met Swamiji in this life, because I know that it's a deep truth within me, that so many lives we've been coming and going, and that same thing. And if you read so many of the Vedic texts, you will understand that the Guru, he bestows that upon you, that enlightenment. He, by his grace, you receive that awakening. Sure, there's people who become enlightened on their own, but how many people do you know like that? Some beings do land and they can achieve that space on their own. But those were already people in the past births who have either achieved that and decided to come back again for some purpose, or they've done, whatever they've done, and they've been able to come back again and have a conscious birth or whatnot. But we need the grace of the Guru. He has to guide us. Because honestly, what it's saying here, that they know it not. They wallow in the karma. It's people in general, even me, until I met Swamiji and realized, what am I doing? And realized that no, my life was like this for so many janmas, so many births. I've come and gone. And getting stuck in all the desires and the karmas and those worldly things that hold us back, that Maya. Then Maya puts that veil over us so that we can't see that there's something more out here and in here, connecting us to the whole. So we get stuck in our daily things, going to the store, going shopping, buying this, that, this, having that, the car, or that competition with the neighbor to have better things, or the kids in school, what they're doing that's better than your kids, whatever it is, And I'm not saying you can't have a spiritual life, and you can't deeply be devotional and have a beautiful life, living under the guidance of Swamiji. But really, until you come down to it and make that conscious decision that this is your life, and damn it, you're not going to come back again and again like that anymore and get stuck. This is the time that we have to do it, because he's here now in the form, and the most powerful time is now, when he's here with us, and he's going to be here for at least 100 more years. It's amazing. And we have that time, yes, but how much time do we have? Because how long have I been with Swamiji now? 5 years, and still, I'm working through my things. But I'll tell you what, from day one till now, what a huge transformation and beautiful unfolding of my life it has been. But we have to walk this path if you're serious about enlightenment, and you're serious about Jivan Mukti, liberation, and if you're serious about enjoying that space in this lifetime, radiating the powers of Sadashiva, that space of Sadashiva, this is the time now that you have to do it. And taking sannyas, to me, is the answer. And also, Swamiji even said he can only do so much with other devotees or disciples. But when you make that vow to him, that yes, you're going to stick with him and you're taking sannyas, and you're going to do it, basically, you're going to go for it, he is also making that commitment to be with you, of course, not just in that level of devotee, but he's actually changing our DNA, and he's installing his own bioenergy into us, so that we can radiate. Just somebody standing next to us, Swamiji can radiate through us his energy. So I can go anywhere in the world, and more Swamiji will be able to radiate through me and help those people just by my presence, just from my body radiating his energy. I mean, it's such an amazing thing, and it's mind-boggling, But I can prove that it's true in my own experience, because even when I first came to the ashram, there's certain sannyasis that I've been standing next to, or even now, if it's somebody I haven't seen in a long time and been in their energy field, I can feel Swamiji's energy coming from them. So everything we wear, our cloth, our rudraksha, everything, he's energized. So we're just like walking like little energy bombs, so to speak, of Swamiji's energy. That's what we are. And the more we can get in that oneness space with us, it can become deeper and deeper. And he cannot do that with all disciples, because also their mind is going here and there. They're thinking about their family or their dinner or their, how's their husband doing, or their son doing, are they okay? Or when they have a problem, they'll call their husband or wife. Oh, here's what happened. But when we have a problem, we're like, when we always go to Swamiji, what should I do? What teaching should I follow? What should I, and just getting into that unclutched space and connecting to our Anandaganda, to his energy. That is our first thought. Our first thought is not someone else outside of us. Our first thought is Swamiji, who's inside of us. So more and more, that's the space we have to be in to really get to it. So the path is that. And so it's very much an amazing thing, an amazing life. And try to explain, this so people understand. Because a lot of times people don't understand, why did you leave your home and your family? And of course I still love them and care about them. And I want the best for them. But I also know that through me now, Swamiji can work through them. And I know that when they leave the body, just by default of them being my family, Swamiji will liberate them. That is one of the things as a sannyasi that happens. He makes them also part of him, even though they never met him, and maybe they never will, because for whatever reason, he will liberate them. So I know they're taken care of. And if they want, they can open up to the spiritual path also. He's waiting, But so it's difficult in that because people don't understand. But if you continue to stay there in that life, you cannot evolve. You cannot evolve at a rapid rate, and you cannot evolve at such a level. And this is why it has to be done this way as a sannyasi, and that's why I chose this path. And Swamiji is the ultimate for me, and I knew when I met him that was all. So no matter what I go through, that is what I hold on to in my being level. Even though my mind tries to divert me in all other things half the time, even more than half the time sometimes, but I still know that my being level is connected to Swamiji, and that's all. So this is the beauty of the life that we have, and the amazing connection and life given to us by Swamiji and with Swamiji, His Holiness, the Avatar, Bhagavan, Paramahamsa Nityananda. So, thanks again for watching today. I look forward to questions about this amazing life. Please feel free. Enter some comments and any other topics you'd like to hear. Thanks for watching. Nityananda.